What's up, Lantern fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast, the co-host of the Emerald Echo podcast. Here with a look at the DC Direct 2009 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure of Yellow Lantern Hal Jordan. I am getting ever closer to completing my collection and subsequent reviews of these Blackest Night convention exclusive figures. This one is, of course, Hal Jordan in the uniform of the Sinestro Corps. So with no further ado, let's take a closer look at the package details of this release from DC Direct. The front of the packaging features a product shot and various details on the bottom front. On the side, we see this interconnecting artwork from this series of figures. Here's a side view of the figure through the bubble. And on the back, we get some convention details about this series of figures. Here's a closer look at the flyer with convention details. If you'd like to read this, pause the video and do so now. Each of the figures from this series came wrapped in protective plastic, and I am now going to remove this figure from the plastic. And here we have a closer look at the Blackest Night Hal Jordan Sinestro Corps figure. Each of these figures has a cardboard flap that's held in place by Velcro, and it opens up like this. And here's a closer look at the inside of the cardboard. The inside of the packaging features a brief bio of Hal Jordan leading up to Blackest Night. If you'd like to read this, pause the video and do so now. The packaging also features a list of the characters who have figures in the Blackest Night Series 1 wave. We also get a look at the figures that are included in Series 2, and that includes Green Lantern John Stewart. Here's a closer look at the bubble that holds the figure, as well as the various accessories that are included with this figure. And now it's time to bust this figure out of the package and see what's inside. Here is the figure free of the outer packaging, but still bound to the inner plastic. And here we see Hal Jordan out of the package and ready to rumble. Much like the other exclusive DC Direct Hal Jordan figures, I think that this is an exquisite collector piece. However, just like those other figures, there is some limitations with the articulation, so let's take a closer look at the loose details of this figure now. Let's have a look at accessories. And here we see the Sinestro Corps logo peg base. As I've said in my other reviews, I really like these peg bases. I really wish that McFarlane would do something similar. Here is the personal power battery, and I really appreciate the handle on this. It's movable, and so that gives you posing options. I like the finish on this plastic and the translucent plastic in the middle. And here is the wearable ring. It is sculpted very well. It has the accurate Sinestro Corps symbol. As you can see, it is adjustable. Now, for a big guy like me, it is somewhat difficult to get it on my ring finger or middle finger. It fits quite well on my pinky. However, if I were to try to use this for a cosplay, I think it would be difficult to wear for a long period of time. As you can see, it's pinching my finger. However, for a lot of people, I think this would fit, and it would be quite useful for a cosplay. So that's a look at the accessories. Now let's have a look at the lower body, and I really like this paint choice for the boots. This bright metallic yellow looks excellent. The tops of the boots are sculpted. There's also wrinkles sculpted in, and I appreciate all of that detail. And the peg base ports into the hole at the bottom of this foot. Although I appreciate the sculpting on the quad muscles as well as the calf muscles, I still feel like these legs are a little thin in comparison to the upper body, so slightly disproportionate. I don't know if I said that in my other reviews, but I'm saying it now. I feel like the legs should have been a little bit thicker. Now we'll take a look at the torso, and the paint applications are spot on. They're very exact, and this yellow paint just pops. It's very eye-catching. The Sinestro core symbol is not sculpted. I would have preferred that, but it is executed well. There's so much definition back here in the trapezius and the latissimus dorsi. He's got massive lats. So I really appreciate all of this sculpting work on the torso. Now we'll take a look at the arms, and I do remember that in some of my other reviews I talked about the shape of the triceps being a little odd. It's not that there's not definition back there, it's just the overall shape is just a little weird. But you can see striations in the deltoids. There is plenty of excellent detail here on the forearm gauntlets. The black sections of the uniform are glossy, and you can see that here on the inner biceps. On the opposite side here, he has this band around the biceps, and that has the Sinestro Corps logo, and that is very precise for such a small area. Here is the green ring on the right hand, and it's certainly a mixed bag. I do like the color choice and the fact that it is sculpted. It's not just a dot of green paint. However, the sides of the ring aren't sculpted around the finger, so it just kind of looks like it's sitting there. There's also no Green Lantern logo to speak of, and it's also undersized, so I really feel like DC Direct could have done a better job here. And I have the same criticisms of the Sinestro Corps ring, although to be fair, these issues really aren't that noticeable until you put the hands under magnification. Here's a look at the head sculpt, and in and of itself, I don't have a problem with this. I think it looks quite good. I like the hair standing up on end, and the sculpting of the mask is magnificent, and the paint applications on the teeth are very precise. My issue is that the head sculpt on the red, black, orange, and yellow Lantern Hal Jordan figures are all the same. They're just repainted with the corresponding colors, and I feel like for convention exclusives, DC Direct could have given us different head sculpts for each figure. Now I'll take a look at articulation, although I will be very careful here. There's a single jointed knee. This feels kind of tight. You can get the leg to articulate forward at the hip that much, so that gives you a pretty good front kicking motion. With this type of hip joint, you cannot articulate the legs out to the sides at all, although in this case you can get the figure to step back, and I certainly appreciate that. There is no articulation in the torso, unfortunately. You can raise the arms up at the shoulder joint this much, and these may be able to go out a little further. I'm just being very careful. Single jointed elbows, and there is rotation at the wrists. You can move the arms around 360 degrees at the shoulder. I can only get the elbows to articulate to this degree. You may get them to go further, but I'm scared of trying to force that joint. The head moves easily side to side. He looks up a very small amount. He can look down, and there is some head tilting here, so I am appreciative of that. I hope you have enjoyed this review. If so, please like and subscribe. Make sure to check out my other reviews of Hal Jordan convention exclusive figures, and also check me out on Multiverse Musings, the vidcast, and that's available right here on YouTube. And I'll be back with more Green Lantern related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.